What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today I have for you guys a nice big old unboxing to dig into. We'll go ahead and use our Keith the Knife Freak channel unboxing knife. So let's dig into this thing. Now, I had an interesting conversation with Kaiser Knives and was talking with them, and they offered to send something in for me to take a look at, and I was, very receptive. I said, yes, I definitely would like to start checking out some of your knives, because the simple fact is, guys, I can't buy everything. I wish that I could buy everything with my own money, but the simple fact is I can't. So the more knives that I can get in to check out, the better. So it comes with your standard microfiber cloth and your paperwork. So what we have, guys, is the massive Sheepdog XL. Now, this one is going to be coming in 154 cm. They have several versions of the Sheepdog knives. There's the minis, there's the regular size, there's the XL. Some have flipper tabs, some have a hole in them, some have a crossbar lock, some are a titanium frame lock. There is a ton of different Sheepdog sizes, lock mechanisms, and different steels. This one is the flipper version in 154 cm. So look at that massive blade there, guys. This thing is, they call it an XL for a reason. You're getting about 3.6 for your cutting edge, and then you could easily say 4.25 to here. And then overall, guys, this thing's coming down around 9.25. So this is not only a long knife, but it's got a very tall, wide side to it as well. Man, that has a ting when it opens. Listen to this. That sounds awesome on the open. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't think that's micarta. I think that is black G10. So I couldn't tell, it kind of, I guess now that I'm feeling it, it's more G10, but it almost looks like a black micarta. Now, this knife is not, this is not a new version. This is not a new product from Kaiser. This has been around and has made its staple on the knife community, the knife world. And if you are looking for, now I have one that's similar to this, but if you are looking for something, if you're someone who deals with a lot of cardboard, you find utility knives boring, or you just are tired of using a utility knife, there is almost nothing better if you have a ton of cardboard to dismantle and take apart, get it chopped up. The Sheepdog XL is a literal cardboard destroyer. Not only because of how tall and thin this blade is, but the ergonomics of this knife, the way that it locks you in, very comfortable to continue using it. You don't have any hot spots, at least with my hand size, my hand. I don't have any hot spots on this knife, and you are just locked in behind that big old flipper tab and this gooseneck here. You are just locked into this thing. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I remember some of them being around 115, 120. So yeah, this is going to be the same, 115. So as big, as wide, as tall, as long as this knife is, the blade stock is at 115, guys, which means this thing is coming down here ultra thin. Look at that. That's coming down around 10 thousandths, guys. So this big EDC knife is actually a slicer in disguise. Now, could you hard use this knife and, put a little bit more oomph on this knife, even though it is a slicer? I think you definitely could. The one that I have is very similar to this one. I can't remember. I don't want to say for sure, but I want to say it's very similar to this one. I have an XL. I have a regular size. I think the only one I don't have is a mini. But the one thing, or a couple of great things, is the blade is nice and thin. You're getting 154 cm, which is a fantastic all-around steel, especially for EDC and a little bit of variation when it comes to what you're cutting and how long. It's going to hold up well. Kaiser does 154 cm very well. The other thing is the ergos. The ergos are fantastic on this thing. The detent and action on these is fantastic. The way they have been able to tune that detent to flip that massive blade out is pretty impressive, guys. You do have a big old flipper tab there, but it's kind of hidden behind, it doesn't stick out much past the spine, so it's not really in a bad spot. I think it's as big as this knife is. I think they did a good job on that flipper tab. There's plenty of room there to get leverage on it and really kick that blade out. Every time it has a nice little noise to it. Now I'm seeing anodized pivot collars. Looks like aluminum pivot collars on both sides. Full black G10 handles. Full steel liners. It is open construction. Now you do have some posts back here for some rigidity. This is definitely a strong, thick knife. And you do have a deep carry steel rollover clip. And I believe this is the same clip that I have with mine, and it functions very well, works very well. The only thing about this knife is it's massive, guys. So if you're designating this to a front pocket, you're going to basically be reserving that pocket for this knife. Now, depending on what you do and that sort of thing, that would be, like, for what I do, that would be perfectly fine to designate my primary cutter to one pocket. I know where it is. I can get it out easily, make my utility cuts, make my cuts, what have you, and put this bad boy back in place. Now, obviously, someone who's looking for a lightweight knife and that side of things, you're not going to be looking at an XL Sheepdog anyway. But if you're looking for a big brute EDC user, if you're looking for something that you can use at home, you get a lot of packages, you get a lot of this and that, and it needs broken down so you can get rid of it or transport it or whatever, this is going to be a fantastic knife to put in your toolbox or to keep in your, junk drawer for those days where you got a ton of stuff to break down and get rid of. That's exactly what I use my Sheepdog XL for, is at home. I have a ton of stuff to break down, or at least that's what I used to use it for. But fantastic, big, slicey beast right here, comfortable in hand. And these are popular for a reason, guys. It's because they're very well executed. They use a ton of different locking mechanisms, a ton of different handle materials, different blade steels, and I think the base versions now come in 154 cm. I'm not sure if they still do the N690 VG10 ones. I don't think they do. They might, but the 154 cm is the one that I would look for, whether you want a flipper tab or whether you want a hole. That you'll have to just find and locate that one. They also make frame locks, titanium frame locks, and I think S35. They do a bunch of stuff, guys. Like I was saying earlier, they have really perfected this model. I think they even have some with button locks and crossbar locks as well now, or at least one of those two. I would love to see this with a crossbar lock and a hole. I think that would be an insane combo to have this big blade with a hole and a crossbar lock. That would be insane. I'm trying to see if I can reverse flick it out off this flat, but that's not really what, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, especially with that smooth textured finish that they do. I love this satin tumbled looking finish that Kaiser does. They do a good job. It's kind of like a satin tumbled finish, and it looks very, very good. They also do a good job on their black wash finishes. Look at that thing. Very nice, very nice. It's been a long time since I've checked one of these out or gotten, mine out to check out. Very durable knife, a slicey knife, a comfortable knife. And the other thing is, like, this version is going to come in, well under $100, I believe, which for the materials, for the build, and for what you're getting, as much 154 as you are getting here, that's an awesome deal. Don't quote me. I want to say they come in around like the $80 price point, 85 maybe for the, basic version. And then they'll go up from there, of course. But just a fantastic beast of a knife. And what I love about it, as big and beastly as it is still maintains that slicing function. Now let's check that edge. We have just a piece of magazine paper here. Oh yeah. Coming down around 10 thousandths, guys, with a good edge on it. Oh man, this thing is going to cut for days, and it's going to do it very, very well. Look at that. That is sharp, guys. Great edge on this bad boy. And that's nothing new. Typically, Kaisers come with a fantastic edge. Now, one thing else that we're going to test is because that I said that I would. Some knives, guys, if they are loaner knives or if they're knives that I'm giving away, I'm not going to check that lockup unless the person who lent it in wants me to, and or the person who wins the giveaway wants me to. Otherwise, I will not be doing that. But because this was sent in, we're going to check this lockup. It is a liner lock. It does look solid, and the blade is nice and centered there. Nicely centered. Good job on that. We have positive lockup. We're just going to do a couple. Yeah, nice and solid, guys. Couple up towards the tip there, and then a couple back here towards the tang. Yep, she is locked up solid. Very well done from Kaiser. I've had very few issues from Kaiser when it comes to locks failing, with bad heat treats, in a sense, from what I can tell, bad edges. You just don't get that stuff from Kaiser. They typically nail all the function aspects of their knives, and they also take on a good form. They have good action, good aesthetics. Kaiser has really perfected the affordable knife area and then some over the last year or two. They've really climbed that ladder. Kaiser is a household name at this point, and that is for many good reasons. Kaiser Sheepdog XL. We'll do a full in-depth overview and review of this knife here coming up. That is the unboxing of this guy. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the Sheepdog XL or any of the Sheepdogs. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. What's your favorite size, lock mechanism, the favorite steel of your Sheepdog? I'd love to hear it. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this guy down in the comments. Otherwise, guys, shout out to Kaiser, and I will catch you on the next one.